There's a story Jesus told that ends with a father running, not walking, running. In that culture, for a man of his age and status, that was humiliating. But he didn't care, because his son was dead, and now he wasn't. A man had two sons, and one day, the younger one did something almost unthinkable. He walked up to his father and said, "Give me my inheritance now. Not when you die. Now." It was the same as saying, "I wish you were already dead to me." And his father, knowing exactly what this meant, gave it to him anyway. Not because it was wise, because love doesn't always get to choose wisdom over freedom. The son packed everything he owned, and he left. He didn't look back. In a distant country, he spent it all. Every coin. On parties. On people who called themselves friends as long as he was buying. And then the money ran out, right as a famine hit the land. He got a job feeding pigs. For a Jewish man, there was no lower place to land. And he got so hungry, he actually considered eating the slop meant for the animals. This was the son who once had everything. And then, Scripture says, he came to himself. Something in him woke up. He thought, "My father's servants have more than enough food, and here I am, starving." So he made a decision. He would go home, not as a son anymore. He didn't feel he deserved that. He'd go home and beg to be a servant. He rehearsed the speech the whole way back. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." He practiced it because he was certain he'd need every word to convince his father to even let him in the gate. But here's what he didn't know. His father had been watching that road every single day, waiting. Not out of duty, out of love that never stopped hoping, and while the son was still a long way off, before he could even get the apology out, his father saw him, and the father ran, robes and all. Ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him before a single word of that rehearsed apology ever left the son's mouth. The apology didn't earn the welcome. The welcome was already there. The son started his speech anyway. "Father, I have sinned," but the father wasn't interested in punishment. He called for the best robe, a ring for his finger, sandals for his feet, because sandals meant he was a son again, not a servant. And then he said, "Let's celebrate. This son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Jesus told this story to people who thought grace had to be earned. He told it to remind them and to remind us that the running isn't something we do toward God. It's something He does toward us, while we're still a long way off, before we've cleaned ourselves up, before we've said the right words. If you feel like you've wandered too far to come back, too far to be welcomed, this story exists because that's exactly what it was written to answer. He's not waiting to punish you. He's watching the road. So, what would it look like for you to come home today? Tell me in the comments. And if this reminded you that it's not too late, subscribe to Come Thirsty Daily. We tell these stories every week.